Upcoming Supreme Court ruling could change how cities can address homelessness.
Fox 5 legal analyst Wendy Patrick joining us now to explain. Wendy, good morning. Always good to see you. All right, Grants Pass versus Johnson. Give us the background on this.
Well, Grants Pass is a city in Northwest Oregon that has an ordinance that says basically if you're homeless, you can't camp on the street. It was challenged based on, get this, the constitutional issue of whether or not that ban constitutes cruel and unusual punishment. It was found by the Ninth Circuit that yes, in fact it did. And the city appealed, basically saying, look, we want a way to be able to keep our city safe for everyone, for people that are unhoused as well as the residents. We don't want to have to surrender all of our public spaces to these camping areas. And I have to say, you know, one of the reasons that the U.S. Supreme Court is considering it is think about all of the states that could potentially be impacted by this decision. Is it a policy question, as the Chief Justice appeared to suggest? Or is it something that those 9 men and women of the Supreme Court can possibly decide for the nation?
There are legal details here and there that differentiates one city's thing from another. San Diego had something very similar, where they cited similar issues in terms of cleaning up parts of East Village and some of the sidewalks there from these encampments. What's the difference between what's going on in Oregon, what's going on in San Diego? Because every city is trying to figure out how to deal with homelessness and the legal issues involved with it. So what was the difference?
Isn't that the case? Everybody's trying to figure out, as you say, how to deal with homelessness. Here's one of the differences. There's a difference in the amount of shelter beds that are available in different jurisdictions. Now, in Grants Pass, there were 600 homeless people and only 100 beds. That analysis is being done in cities across the country to try to figure out, look, if we have space available, are you going to say that they have to choose that option? Not everybody wants that option. And then on the other hand, you had some very creative questioning from the justices, as we always do in some of these cases. You had Justice Sonia Sotomayor saying, is it basically the sleeping in public? Does it matter where you sleep? And she says, hey, I sleep at the beach if I've been there long enough. What's the difference? The difference is that I have a home and these people don't. So they're really drilling down on the differences, as you say, between when you can criminalize a status like being unhoused versus behavior like a building a tent encampment. Those are some of the issues that are being decided at the Supreme Court.
Okay, but to manage all this, Wendy, we know that they often will issue like a ticket. They give a ticket. Okay, you're giving a ticket to somebody who clearly doesn't have money. Like, how? What if they can't pay for it? What do they do?
I like the way you asked the question, Shirley. To manage it, can you possibly manage homelessness through fines? The answer is probably no. And if you don't pay the fine, you have to pay more of a fine. And then if you don't pay that fine, you get incarcerated. But we don't advocate any kind of a debtor's prison anywhere in the country. And that issue is at the Supreme Court level too, because it impacts so many cities and so many states. Primarily the western states where the weather is better. So that's, you talk about Oregon, you talk about California, obviously there's states like Hawaii, there's lots of places where weather permits, shall we say, more people to live outdoors. So if the ordinances are going to be upheld, and that appears to be at least what perhaps the majority of the court is leaning towards, is letting the local jurisdictions figure out for themselves what that looks like. We have not heard the end of it, because if there are cities that enact ordinances that are subject to these types of legal challenges, why wouldn't we continue to see them unless we can find a more workable solution?
We talked so many times with you about different laws and different ordinances, and we always ask the same thing. Well, how are they going to enforce this? So the question here would be how the change is going to, how cities are going to figure out how to enforce these kinds of things, because they all have different rules and different. Is this going to work, and how do you make it applicable for every single different jurisdiction? As you said, I mean, it sounds like almost impossible.
What's interesting about that question, Raul, is it's true. Many different cities are more able to designate public space to be able to provide this kind of housing. I mean, think some jurisdictions use tiny homes. We've seen those showcased in some places. Some jurisdictions have more outdoor spaces that might be allocated for different things. But then a city like San Francisco, which obviously has an enormous homeless problem, they don't have that luxury. They would really have to say, look, we have to sacrifice our public space. That was one of the arguments that Grants Pass, Oregon made, is that you're going to take all the space that's supposed to be for community members when we want to make sure it's a safe, sanitary, secure environment for everyone.
If the Supreme Court decision changes how every city is going to enforce something like this, why did it take this long to get to this point? Homelessness has been such a problem for so many years, so many decades, and just now we're getting to the Supreme Court with a case of this is what cities need to do?
What's interesting is the difference is there seems to be more of an issue nowadays in terms of numbers.
Right.
There's always been cases that have been appealed, and there's always been ordinances that have been appealed. This case is unique in the sense that the Supreme Court is deciding whether or not it should be the local jurisdictions that make these decisions as to how do you enforce it. Are you able to criminalize building campsites as a policy matter, as opposed to a cruel and unusual punishment argument, which is the issue on which it was appealed. It's fascinating because you don't normally think of it as punishment, but that was the argument that was successful, at least at the Ninth Circuit.
It'll be interesting to see what happens, right?
Indeed, yes, very relevant for us here as well.
All right, Wendy Patrick, thank you as always.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank
Good
you.
to see you.